I don't think I've ever told this story, but my friend was videotaping, and I started talking to him about her. And then I was done. And I was literally done. Then I talked for about 10, 15 minutes, so I don't know where that footage is.
Kevin Costner, Hollywood legend, Oscar winner, and the face of countless iconic roles, just dropped a bombshell that has left fans stunned. At 68, he's peeling back the curtain on a heartbreak that never healed. In a rare and emotional confession, Costner finally names the woman who shattered his heart. And it's not who you think. This isn't a love story. It's a story of loss, regret, and unfinished feelings. Costner's story begins far from the glittering lights of Hollywood. Born in Linwood, California, he grew up in a modest, hardworking family. His father worked in utilities, his mother stayed home to raise the kids. They moved frequently, from Compton to Ventura, and Costner never quite fit into any one box. He wasn't a star athlete or a top student, but he had dreams. Big ones, quiet ones. In college, he studied business, but deep down, he longed to tell stories. He wanted to act. After graduation, he took odd jobs, working on fishing boats, driving trucks, even giving studio tours, all while taking acting classes at night. The break didn't come easy. Small roles went uncredited. Casting calls were often fruitless, but he pressed on. Then came a role in Silverado in 1985, followed by a breakout performance in The Untouchables in 1987. Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and Dances with Wolves followed, solidifying his place as one of Hollywood's leading men. He became the symbol of American masculinity, calm, strong, and honorable. On screen, he was the guy everyone admired, but off-screen, Kevin Costner was just a man trying to hold on to something real. That something real began with a woman named Cindy Silva. Long before the fame, the money, and the headlines, Kevin was just a young college student at California State University, Fullerton. It was there he met Cindy. Smart, kind, beautiful, she captivated him instantly. He once said, "She was everything I loved in women." They married in 1978. It was young love, full of hope, forged in struggle. Cindy supported them while Kevin chased acting gigs. She believed in him when nobody else did. For years, it was just the two of them against the world. And then the world noticed Kevin. With every new hit, every magazine cover, the pressure mounted. Hollywood fame brought temptation, and the foundation of their once solid marriage began to crack. Rumors swirled. The emotional distance grew. And in 1994, after 16 years and 3 children, Annie, Lily, and Joe, they divorced. The split made headlines, not just because of the $80 million settlement, but because it marked the end of what many believed was a fairy tale union. Costner later admitted, "My faith was shaken. It wasn't just about losing a wife, it was about losing the person who had known and loved him before the world did." What followed was a period many now refer to as his wilderness years. Professionally, Costner struggled to find his footing. Personally, he seemed to drift. He dated several women, including supermodel Elle Macpherson and actress Bridget Rooney, with whom he had a son, Liam. But none of these relationships brought the same peace or depth of connection he once had with Cindy. His films during this time, like Waterworld and The Postman, flopped. The man who once ruled Hollywood was slipping, both in his career and in his personal life. Friends say he never truly got over Cindy, that despite all the relationships and fame, he carried a quiet sadness, a sense that something had been lost, something irreplaceable. Then in 1998, Kevin met Christine Baumgartner, a model and handbag designer. She was 20 years his junior, and at first he was hesitant. They dated for 4 years before breaking up in 2002, reportedly because Kevin didn't want more children. Christine told him, "I'll wait for you, but not long." Kevin came back. They married in 2004 and had 3 children, Caden, Hayes, and Grace. For almost 2 decades, it looked like Kevin had finally found lasting happiness. He spoke warmly of Christine in interviews, calling her his partner and praising the life they built together. But as always, the balance between work and home became difficult to maintain. With the success of Yellowstone and his ambitious film project Horizon, Costner was once again pulled in multiple directions. In May 2023, Christine filed for divorce. The separation was sudden, messy, and very public. They battled over property, custody, and finances. But underneath it all was heartbreak. Kevin hadn't wanted this. It was not something he wanted or sought, said a close source. The loss hit hard. As he promoted Horizon in the months that followed, fans noticed a different Kevin. Still composed, still charismatic, but quieter, more introspective. In one revealing interview, he was asked if he still believed in love. Yes, he said, I love the idea of love. I'm not going to let anything harden my heart. And then came the moment that shocked everyone. When asked who he considered the true love of his life, Kevin paused, thoughtfully, and then answered, Cindy. She was the love of my life. We didn't make it, and that's on me. But when I think about real love, that was it. That simple statement hit like a thunderbolt. Nearly 3 decades after their divorce, Kevin Costner admitted that his heart had never fully moved on. He had loved again, he had married again. But something about Cindy, that first love, that shared struggle, remained unmatched. There's something pure about that first love, he said, before the fame, before the money. We loved each other for who we were. Sources close to him revealed that Kevin and Cindy had stayed in touch over the years, mostly for the sake of their children. But after his divorce from Christine, their conversations became more frequent. They weren't romantic, but they were real. Cindy became a source of comfort, someone who knew the man behind the actor, someone who saw Kevin, not the legend. Friends say Cindy helped guide him through the storm, not by rekindling the past, but by being present in the now. And for Kevin, that was enough. Sometimes you just need someone who understands, a friend said. Still, fans wondered, could there be a second chance for them? Kevin wouldn't say, but when asked, he smiled gently and replied, life has a way of coming full circle. Today, Costner is focused on his children and his passion project, Horizon, a sweeping Western epic he's financing himself. He's invested $38 million into the film, calling it the culmination of everything he's ever wanted to create. But he's also invested in something else, emotional honesty. He's no longer hiding behind his roles or the image of the stoic leading man. He's confronting his past, his regrets, and his desires for the future. Rumors swirled earlier this year about a romance with singer Jewel, but Kevin quickly shut them down. We're just friends, he clarified. She's fantastic, but I don't want rumors to ruin what we have. It's a different Kevin now, more guarded about gossip, but more open about his truth. When asked what he's looking for moving forward, he said, I see myself falling in love again. People are meant to share their lives. That's the heart of it. Despite the heartbreak, despite the losses, Kevin Costner remains hopeful, not because he's chasing another fairy tale, but because he knows that love, at its best, is about honesty, understanding, and showing up. Whether he and Cindy ever rekindle their romance remains to be seen, but his admission has already brought him peace. By naming her as the love of his life, Kevin has finally put to rest decades of unspoken regret. It's not the ending fans expected, but maybe it's the most honest one of all. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful true stories from behind the spotlight. Hit the bell so you never miss an update,